it's always interesting how people end up together if you're supposed to, right? The synchronicities. So back in 2000, I moved to Sedona. It had come to me in a dream years before. And I had a P.O. box in town. And at the post office, there was this guy that was, a lot of times we'd run into each other. And never knew his name, but just playful banter or whatever, and I'd seen him. So probably 6 or 7 months later, I decided I was going to do vortex tours and stuff. I had been spending a lot of time out on the land, and I went through the yellow pages, and there was this place called Michael's Vision, and it said vortex tours. So I called, and I said, "So I'm just curious, are you hiring?" And Michael, being Michael, said, "Well, if it's your highest excitement, why don't you come on up at some point?" Now, I came from a world that was very schedule-oriented, appointment-oriented. I'm like, what? And I said, "You don't need me to call me friend?" No, that's right, just stop up. Like, wow, this is weird, but it got my attention, right? So one day I'm out by Back and Beyond, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to see if this guy is for real. So I pull up to the place. Michael's there. Amayra was in Holland at the time, I believe. And I come walking in, and I'm like, "It's the post office dude." Oh my God! We had never, I didn't know his name, he didn't know mine. I looked at him like, oh my God. Anyway, I started working with him a little bit, just volunteer stuff, and here it is 20-some years later, and honestly, I never would have thought that I would be out here doing this. We've remained friends over the years, but it's interesting, the synchronicities of life. Because of Michael and Amayra, lots of things in my life changed dramatically and very rapidly. So I'm sure you all have stories like that. So at this time, I would like to bring up Amayra, who would like to share some words. So come on up, my dear.
Fantastic. So I've been so deeply touched by all the responses that we have had and by the response today of you all being there. But in the meantime, I also get WhatsApps and emails and text messages of people who tell me to have a good day and to so sorry that they couldn't be here because they are physically not around. None of Michael's blood family is around because people had to work and things like that. But you're here. So you're the family. Thank you. That is so beautiful. Also to know that it's not all locals here. There have been people who come 16-hour drive from Austin, Texas to just be here. There's people who came from Mount Shasta, 16-hour drive also. There's people who flew in from Illinois. Minnesota. Minnesota, yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing, wonderful. And what brings us together? Oh, there's people here that I've known for more than 20 years, very profoundly on a deep level. There's people here who I have just met. But you have one thing in common. Each and every one of you was touched in one way, shape, or form by Michael. And their life changed because of that. And that is phenomenal. That is phenomenal to know. It is also as unexpected as everything was and as life-changing as it is for me personally, knowing that so much has happened during Michael's life is so wonderful to know, so wonderful to feel, so wonderful to experience. So thank you for expressing that by your presence here today. Michael was specific. He was not here to tell us what to believe or what we should do. He was here to express himself, to share and to open doors for people to walk through. He was not here to serve and to sacrifice himself. He was here to follow his excitement. And he was here to live that, to love himself more than anybody or anything. Every person of you has heard him say that, right? And every person has done their own thing with it, because that was his whole thing. He presented something, and then it was up to you what you did with it. And he has been, for me, such an example of non-attachment. And some people have sometimes called that kind of, he was not feeling or compassionate or whatever. No, he just delivered his message, and he said, up to you what you do with it. He used to say, I don't care, and then he rephrased that in a sense, it doesn't matter. Because that sounds a little bit more loving, right? Now, it was almost 30 years ago, before I met Michael, that I decided I wanted to connect more with my spirit guides and with God, with the angels, and I wanted to do that through writing. So I started doing this writing, and I kind of kept doing that. And then in 1999, my 20-year-old son died, and I used that writing for my grieving process. And it worked. It helped me tremendously, because that was a big trauma in my life. So over the years, I continued doing that, continued doing the writing. And especially when I was confused about something or upset about something, Michael would say, go write with Archangel Michael. Which, of course, when you're not in the optimal space, that is about the last thing that you want to do. But he would go do. And then usually I did. And then when I would come back, whatever he was doing, he would drop it, because he would want to hear. And I was always sensitive on it, kind of, I had to be asked to share. It's something, as many years as I had done it, it was kind of, I would never come with kind of, I have something to share. No, I needed to be invited to share. So now, for me, the most meaningful way to deal with my current situation is to sit down and write with Michael. And it helps me tremendously. And what he comes up with is interesting. And so now I have somebody to share it with, so I share some with AngelHeart. And she thinks that there is something to it, what she says. I think so, but it's always nice to hear that. So then I decided to share some of that with you. So on January 25th, I just take quotes. January 25th, so he died on the 24th, although we believe he died on the 23rd. That is when his heart stopped here. They tried to resuscitate him, and the heart got going a little bit, but they never got him back. So then on the 24th, they declared him officially dead at 3:33, as I have shared. So this was on January 25th. He said, at this moment, I'm committed to remain very close to you and to all those who are expressing that they expect to experience my presence. I bet you I will be present. I'm not done with earthly existence. On the contrary, I feel I will be able to have even more of an impact on people's lives. And it's absolutely amazing how many people have shared with us how they have seen Michael, heard Michael. He appears in their dreams. They find symbols that they say, oh, that must be Michael. It's mind-blowing. Yeah? So then, on January 29th, he said, I want you to continue my legacy. You know better than anybody what my legacy is. I will be with you every step of the way. On February 2nd, he said, at this moment, we both have opportunities to take everything we ever talked about to a deeper level. Myself too, here on the other side of the veil. Because this is what I can tell you. On this side of the veil, there is still learning that continues, yet in a more comfortable way. Then on February 10th, I basically write every morning with him. On February 10th, then I spoke to him about concerns for the future of Angel Valley. And he says, what do you think I'm doing here? Twiddling my thumbs, so to speak. No, my dearest, I'm not, I promise you. I may have taken you by surprise, in a sense, what's new. But I will take care of you and do for the land what I have always wanted. Keep your focus the same way we have always had it. It is going to work out beautifully, easily and effortlessly, capitalized. Not only for you, also for AngelHeart and for every other person involved. So then, on February 23rd, we were talking about grief, because of course I have my moments. The best you can do is to direct your focus towards the knowingness that you are connected. Not only are you connected to me, you are connected to all that is, to God, to all your guides and angels, to all who are choosing to function on the heart frequency, and ultimately to yourself. The pain you feel is the disconnect inside you, the disconnect from your God self. That is where it starts and where it ends. And then on February 25th, we were talking about loving yourself. It says it's quite obvious that grief in itself brings pain, which is generally not considered to be an exciting experience. And then he went on to point out that there is aliveness in grief. And then he said the way to apply the loving yourself principle at this moment is, what is at any given moment the most loving thing you can do for yourself? That will bring you more centeredness than anything else. If you're willing to be erratic for the outside world and even for yourself, there is no faster way to move you into a more balanced state than doing exactly that. So then this morning, I wrote something with him. He said, what is happening is this tremendous surge of energy from all those who will be present. You call it a celebration of life ceremony to honor me. Nicely put, and thank you for all your effort. However, it's much bigger. It is a celebration of love, a joining of hearts that is way beyond me, the Michael Hamilton you have known. I see it as a huge fire of bright white light that is catapulted into the cosmos as it is showering back over the earth. It's not about me. It's about all these hearts being lit up and the radiance that comes from that. Yes, you may reminisce about me. Great. That is what the human way is. But the real thing is about all that is happening in the hearts of all those that are present in person and of all those who are with you in spirit. Looking at you from beyond the veil, I'm looking forward to having a show beyond anything my human mind could ever have imagined. It's so nice not to be bothered about my human shyness and uncomfortableness. As you know, I always dreaded performing in public. No more need for that. We will be having a blast together. Very exciting. So far, Michael speaking. And I have to share with you, I do this in the early morning, and we used to spend our early mornings always in individual reflection, meditation, prayer, sharing our dreams, sharing our ideas. And now I'm kind of using this time to do about this. Okay, and then the question that I have heard, or that I feel people are lovingly hesitant to ask, what is your next step? This question, of course, goes hand in hand with what about Angel Valley? Here is what I can say at this moment. For me, and this is me speaking, right? This is not Michael. I am talking with him about that, but this is me. For me, the sacredness of the land has the highest priority in every decision I make or have the ability to be part of. As many of you know, Michael and I have started to step back out of the everyday operation of Angel Valley, and with our beautiful and capable AngelHeart on our path, Michael and I have been able to do some wonderful traveling in the last 2 years. And right now, it is our focus to have new stewards for the land, who will honor the land as we have done since we first came here in 2001. At this early stage, I am not able to share any details, but it looks like we may have found these stewards. There are still a lot of hurdles to be taken, but Angel Valley may be facing a bright future. And we ask you to hold that space and send us your love and support, that this process may unfold in a magical way, with the same magic and guidance that has been with Michael and me since 2001, the past 19 years, in spite of the opportunities for growth that occurred along the way. We know that from the other side, Michael has a very strong hand in this. The last thing that I want to share is that my heart is full of gratitude for all that Michael has brought in my life in so many different ways. I have experienced so much beauty and learned and grown so much. I would not be who I am today without all that, and all that he and I have shared and are continuing to share. That feeling of gratitude is healing my missing him at the same time. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you all. And thank you all for being here. I hold you here.